kampusku, kalian bakal ketemu calon-calon ilmuwan masa depan. Wow, laboratoriumnya super keren. Ini adalah Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi kampusku. Mereka lagi ngapain sih? Di sini ada 9 pilihan jurusan yang bisa kamu pilih.
Saintis muda, bergerak untuk bangsa.
Aku lagi di Planetarium UIN Walisongo. Aku bisa berselancar, melihat cakrawala, dan benda-benda luar angkasa sesuka hati. Planetarium ini akan jadi pusat riset ilmuwan falak Indonesia. Di Fakultas Syariah dan Hukum, kamu nggak cuma paham teorinya loh. Kamu bisa mengaplikasikan langsung di dalam ruang sidang. Di sini ada 5 pilihan jurusan sarjana dalam 1 magister yang bisa kamu pilih.
Nah oke teman-teman, itu dia pembahasan kita mengenai dakwah. Mari berlomba-lomba dalam kebaikan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Siaran jadi aktivitasku buat mengisi waktu luang. Di sini aku punya banyak teman buat ningkatin kapasitas diri. Saya mencoba memainkan gamelan. Selain menjadi alat kesenian, gamelan juga bisa digunakan sebagai media dakwah loh. Nah, di fakultas ini ada 5 jurusan sarjana yang bisa kalian pilih.
Arsitektur jadi cermin kebudayaan sebuah bangsa. Dan aku memilih Fakultas Usuluddin Humaniora untuk ikut ambil bagian di dalamnya. Mengubah mimpi menjadi karya nyata untuk kemajuan Islam. Di sini ada 5 pilihan jurusan fakultas dan 1 magister yang bisa kamu pilih.
Lihat, aku ada di Green Campus. Pohonnya banyak ya. Hai kawan-kawan, lagi pada ngapain nih? Sorry ya, aku ada kuliah dulu. FEB itu identik dengan ekonomi dan keuangan syariah. Aku bisa memantau transaksi pasar modal semudah sentuhan jari. Jadi anak muda harus melek dalam dunia investasi ya. Kalian sudah pada tahu belum? Di FEB UIN Walisongo ada 4 pilihan program sarjana dan 1 pilihan magister.
Recording in progress.
Dengan fasilitas dan juga layanan yang lengkap, aktivitas kuliahku semakin nyaman. Asik juga ya kuliah di sini. Pusing sama tugas kuliah? Refresh sebentar yuk di Student Forest Garden Visip Walisongo. Internet memudahkan aku untuk menggali ilmu dari mana saja. Di Visip UIN Walisongo, ada 2 pilihan jurusan loh. Ada sosiologi dan ilmu politik yang bisa kamu ambil. Edupak Fakultas Ilmu Tarbiyah dan Keguruan. Tamannya keren, nyaman untuk berdiskusi. Udah sejak lama, aku pengen banget jadi guru. Makanya, aku kuliah di fakultas ini. Tarbiyah dan Keguruan telah mencetak guru-guru profesional. Ruang kelasnya nyaman dan laboratoriumnya lengkap.
Ini keramahan Sivitas Akademika UIN Walisongo. Di Fakultas Psikologi dan Kesehatan, siap mencetak psikolog yang profesional. Walaupun jauh dari keluarga, aku nggak melangkah sendiri. Karena di sini, aku punya support system yang siap membantu. Laboratorium gizi ini menjadikan mahasiswa Fakultas Psikologi dan Kesehatan lebih kreatif dan inovatif. Di sini ada 2 program studi, yaitu psikologi dan gizi yang bisa dipilih.
Selain bersama dosen, diskusi dengan teman-teman menjadi bagian dari mahasiswa program Magister. Pusing soal tesis? Saya selalu didampingi oleh dosen pembimbing. Kuliah akan terasa menyenangkan kalau kita bisa memilih kampus dengan tepat. Untungnya, saya nggak salah pilih. Di sini ada 2 pilihan jurusan yang bisa kamu pilih.
Selain buku fisik, di sini kita juga bisa akses banyak buku, penelitian, dan jurnal digital. Bersama-sama kita berjuang untuk unggul dalam keilmuan dan kokoh dalam iman. UIN Walisongo Semarang, kampus untuk kemanusiaan dan peradaban.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo Sobat Walisongo. Dalam rangka peresmian lapangan multifungsi UIN Walisongo Semarang, segenap UKM universitas turut memeriahkan dengan mempersembahkan penampilan masing-masing. Ada UKM teater mimbar yang bergerak dalam bidang seni pertunjukan, UKM musik, dan UKM Walisongo Sport Club yang memiliki 8 cabang olahraga. UKM lainnya juga menunjukkan penampilannya dalam bentuk parade. Bagaimana keseruannya? Mari kita simak bersama.
Selamat pagi pemirsa, saya Eva Salsabila dari SKM Amanat melaporkan langsung dari Kampus 3 UIN Walisongo Semarang dalam acara peresmian lapangan multifungsi UIN Walisongo Semarang. Acara ini dihadiri oleh Bapak Rektor Bapak Imam Taufik dan juga pejabat tinggi UIN Walisongo Semarang serta dimeriahkan oleh 16 unit kegiatan mahasiswa.
Hello everyone, good morning. We will talk about sexual harassment and drugs. Those are the problems that we must tackle down now. As a fighter, we must be smart, aware, and brave to fight sexual harassment and drugs. Thank you.
قال الله تعالى في سورة النور الآية 3: قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون. وقال الله تعالى أيضا: ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبائث. أيها الشباب، وقف المخدرات والعنف الجنسي، لأن الشباب يقومون بدور هام في ترقية الشعوب وتقدمهم.
Kopma adalah UKM yang dibentuk untuk menampung kegiatan mahasiswa dalam bidang usaha memenuhi kebutuhan mahasiswa ataupun anggota. Usaha yang ada di Kopma antara lain toga, buket, merchandise, Kopma Sel, Bingko Food, dan lain sebagainya.
sana bingung, di sini bingung, dua-dua teman sejati. Rasa sayangnya, lihat nona dari jauh. Rasa sayangnya, rasa sayangnya, lihat nona dari jauh. Rasa sayangnya.
Aku ingin menuliskan dengan tepat apa yang kurasakan. Tetapi entah bagaimana kertas itu tetap kosong. Seringkali aku berpikir, apa yang sebenarnya aku cari? Hidup serba cukup ternyata tidak benar-benar membuatku merasa cukup. Aku merasa masih ada yang ku cari. Walaupun aku sendiri tak tahu itu apa.
Hidup memang layaknya sebuah skenario, tertulis rapi dengan kisahnya sendiri. Dan di tiap-tiap kisah itu, ada makna yang bisa kita renungkan. Beberapa kisahnya membawa keputusan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Greetings to all of us. The distinguished Professor Dr. Imam Taufik MAD as Rector of Walisongo Semarang, the Honorable Doctor of Science and Technology, all respected speakers, Professor Dr. C. Visnu Vardhan Reddy, Dr. Galvin Askan, Alvia Nur Hayati, MSc PhD, and Ani Mu'analifah, MSc PhD, and all dear participants in this afternoon webinar. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli amma ba'du. Alhamdulillah, all praises be to Allah, because only by His grace we can gather together in this very special event. Salawat and greetings to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us towards Islam, rahmatan lil alamin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this webinar. My name is Ruji, and as your MC today, I would like to welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the first Edu-STEM International Conference 2022 with theme Natural Sciences, Mathematics, Technology, and Education for Humanity and Civilization. This event is organized, gentlemen. We have several agenda will be held in this webinar, include opening, sing Indonesia Raya Anthem and March of Win Walisongo Semarang, welcoming speech from Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology, opening speech from Rector of Win Walisongo Semarang, and the last one is closing. Now, let's open this event by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And the next agenda is singing the Indonesia Raya Anthem and March of Win Walisongo Semarang.
Marilah bersama Universitas Islam Negeri Walisongo.
Jemput masa depan, tunjukkan prestasi, jadi unggul di setiap langkahmu.
Kobarkan semangatmu, jihad menggali ilmu, bangkitlah era baru menunggu. Menjadi insan profesional sejati, dambaan umat dinanti.
Bekerja,
berbakti untuk bangsa. Bekerja, berbaktilah karena Allah. Berlandaskan akidah dengan akhlak karimah, umat menanti dharma baktimu. Berkompetisi menggapai ridho ilahi, ciptakan damai di bumi.
bekerja,
berbakti untuk bangsa.
bekerja,
Berlandaskan akidah dengan akhlak karimah, umat menanti dharma baktimu. Berkompetisi menggapai ridho ilahi, ciptakan damai di bumi. Ciptakan damai di bumi. Ciptakan damai di bumi.
The next agenda is a welcoming speech from the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology UIN Walisongo Semarang. To Dr. Haji Ismail MAG, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wasyukrulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Wala hawla wala quwata illa billah. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahu ila yaumiddin. Honorable Mr. Rector UIN Walisongo Semarang, Profesor Dr. PhD Imam Taufik MAG, honorable the speakers of international conference, and all of participants. Welcome to the first Edu-STEM International Conference in this year. First of all, let us thank Almighty God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for the continuous blessing that have been granted to us until now. Without God's grace and permission, Edu-STEM 20 and 22 will never be conducted successfully. This conference is aimed to respond to the spirit of embracing and welcoming the technology advancement, especially the emergence of green technology, and mainly focus on science and technology, as well as the education field. Further benefits to be obtained from this international conference on our campus are to gather the great researchers, academics, and scholars together to exchange knowledge and the world's update in the form of international seminars and panel discussion. From the year to year, the world of science and technology has advanced rapidly. Various inventions are created to provide novelties that benefit humanity. Science creation of the variety of sophisticated tools in unquestionably advances, as all the facilities provided are believed to enable society to construct a more remarkable civilization. However, all of the proposed advances might not be acquired if the people are not ready to embrace the newest breakthroughs due to challenges in education, science, technology, economics, and social aspects. With the current emergence of technology sophistication, including the shifting in the green technology field, the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Islam Negeri Walisongo Semarang, as one of the science and technology and education providers in Indonesia, believes that it is necessary to exchange information among academics about several studies that most recently related the technology advancement. We believe that the knowledge transferred in this conference will enhance the readiness of the scholars and other stakeholders to embrace the dynamic alteration of the future. And we would like to express our gratitude to the keynote speakers and all of the presenters and committees who have contributed to the success of this important event, and all of the partner campuses for the full support. And finally, we do hope to our rector, Professor Dr. Imam Taufik MAG, to open officially this international conference. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And the next speech will be delivered by Rector of UIN Walisongo Semarang, which will officially open our webinar today. For Professor Dr. Imam Taufik MAG, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, tsumma alhamdulillah. La haula wa la quwata illa billah. Amma ba'du. Honorable the Vice Rector of UIN Walisongo, Honorable the Dean, Vice Dean, Director and Vice Director of Postgraduate Program, special my colleagues, the Dean of Science and Technology Faculty, respectable invited speaker, Professor Dr. Wisnu Vardhan Reddy from Osmania University, India, Dr. Galbin Özkan from the Yildiz Technical University, Turkey, Alwiyah Nur Hayati and Eni Mu'anna Alifah PhD from UIN Walisongo Semarang, and all respectable presenter and participant, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. Our gratitude belong to Allah, the Almighty, the most merciful and the most beneficent, who has granted us with the health, blessing, and opportunity to attend the first Edu-STEM, the National Conference 2022, Education, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, held by the Faculty of Science and Technology, Walisongo State Islamic University. Secondly, may the peace and blessing of Allah through the last Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of UIN Walisongo Semarang, I would like to welcome you all, the respectable invited speaker and participant from overseas as well as from Indonesia. Welcome to UIN Walisongo Semarang, our campus of peace and moderation, our campus of smart and green. Thank you for your support and enthusiasm. Your interest and participation in the international conference will enrich ideas and perspective on how to embrace and implement the significance of natural sciences, mathematics, technology, and also education for humanity and civilization. Ladies and gentlemen, the international conference, I think, is one of the proof about how Universitas Islam Negeri Walisongo is committed in responding to actual problem in education, sciences, technology, and engineering and mathematics context. There are several aims to this international conference, such as to increase knowledge through the sharing research results and the best practice related to this area. The second, to initiate academic network through the research, collaborative, and scientific publication in this context. And the third is to optimize the potential of academic to produce the scientific work, and that's very relevant in the global development. Ladies and gentlemen, STEAM is the broad term referred to the approach and learning model that combine 5 disciplines in harmony and complement of the basic of problem-based learning model. The 5 disciplines include science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So STEAM is very relevant to the current context because it prepares students with 3 main subjects in learning: learning and innovation skill, information, media and technology, and also life and career skill. I think the implementation of the theory in education usually relevant to the new learning experiences. Learning STEAM will assist the problem solving and explanatory learning that is very important to the daily life activity. Ladies and gentlemen, this international conference is a very serious effort to strengthening the quality and capacity of Universitas Islam Negeri Walisongo as the leading university in the development of scientific unity of the one hand, and line with the effort to encourage the acceleration of UIN Walisongo toward world-class university in the other hand. Campus with the paradigm of unity of sciences is one of the main strategic program of UIN Walisongo. I think this campus is very serious to become international with the develop and immediate in the international engagement, international research, and community services. In this great opportunity, I would like to invite the speaker and participant from abroad to conduct collaborative research focusing in this area, an area of natural sciences and technology, as well as the social sciences. And collaborative and multidisciplinary research will allow the science to contribute the broader area of global need. I believe implementing STEAM in education and professional area will be a benefit for the future generation. I'm very grateful for this international conference to be hosted by UIN Walisongo Semarang, not only to support our strategic goal in higher education, but also to contribute to the development of humanity and global civilization. On behalf of Universitas Islam Negeri Walisongo Semarang, I declare the opening of this event, the first Edu-STEM International Conference 2022 Edu-STEM, Education, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics is now officially open. Enjoy the webinar. Have a fruitful input and discussion. Terima kasih. Ihdinas shiratal mustaqim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The following agenda, Mr. Fari Hakim. For Mr. Hakim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's pray together for the successing event today. May Allah give us useful knowledge. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa 'azimi sultanik. Wassalatu wassalamu bi'adati ma fi ilmillah alayka wa ala alika ya sayyidina ya Rasulullah. أغثنا في هذا المجلس بإذن الله. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا واسعا حلالا طيبا مباركا. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا بما ينفعنا. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا بما ينفعنا. اللهم إنا نسألك السلامة والصحة والعافية في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إنا نسألك طول العمر بالطاعة واختم لنا بالأعمال الصالحة. اللهم يا الله ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم بارك لنا في أمورنا وبارك لنا في أرزاقنا وبارك لنا في علمنا وبارك لنا في معيشتنا وبارك لنا في كل شيء أعطيتنا يا الله يا رب العالمين. يا ميسر كل أسير يسر مرادنا وسهل مرادنا بفضلك الواسع. اللهم اجعل جمعنا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا تفرقا معصوما ولا شاكيا ولا محروما. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the opening ceremony will be finished very soon, I would like to inform you that our webinar will be handled by Mrs. Sarah Puriduharahmani as our moderator today. And this is a little sneak peek about our moderator today. Okay, her complete name is Sarah Puriduharahmani, MSc. She get a degree from Assalamualaikum, this is Tara.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Tara, how have you been?
Good. I'm really sorry that my connection was disconnected, so I thought everything was stopped. I think it's just me. But everyone, you already can hear my voice clearly, right, Miss Fuji? Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, of course, Mrs. Tara. Okay, well, audience, since Mrs. Tara will take over this event, I, as your MC, would like to say goodbye for now. See you on another occasion. Thank you, and Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Miss Fuji. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh for everyone. My name is Tara, and moderator for this session. Before that, I would like to say thank you to the Honorable Rector of UIN Walisongo Semarang, and also to the Honorable Dean and Vice Deans of Faculty of Science and Technology, UIN Walisongo Semarang. I would like to introduce you to our first speaker, which is Professor Dr. C. Wisnuwardhan Reddy. Professor, are you here already? Can you hear my voice, or can you try to speak?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can finally hear you, Professor. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, some problem issues are there regarding connection issues. Net is
Okay.
very slow here. And
Okay,
I'm in the
Professor.
top floor now. Okay. So
Okay, so
can you
Professor.
able to hear me? All of you?
Yeah. I can hear you clearly, Professor. Before we move on into your
Are you able to hear
session,
me?
yeah, can I read about your CV first, Professor? Okay, so we're having here Professor C. Wisnuwardhan Reddy, MSc, PhD, FTAS. He is the Professor of Physics from Central University of Karnataka, India. He holds 35 years teaching and research and 10 years of leadership for Teachers Association, in addition to serving as Director, Academic Audit Cell in Osmania University and Director, Educational Multimedia Research Center of Osmania University, and also as Chairman, BOS, or a Bachelor of Science in Physics and Electronics in Osmania University, and also the Director, Research and Development, Central University of Karnataka. He is also the member in several committees at university or state level, carry out research in the field of thermophysical properties of solid fuel cell materials, CMR materials. He also guided several students for their PhD and published more than 70 publications in various international as well as national and international journals, in addition to authoring textbooks. So, Professor, how can I call you, Professor?
I'm Professor Reddy from Wisnuwardhan Reddy.
Okay, Professor Reddy. Okay, Professor Reddy is here to talk about the convergence of emerging disciplines of science and technology. Okay, Professor, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you, Professor Reddy. The time.
Sometimes it is not possible because of disruptions in the internet connection here.
Okay.
Kindly bear with me, okay?
Okay,
I
that's
can share my PowerPoint all up with you.
okay. Sure, Professor. Okay.
And kindly bear with me for 3-4 minutes.
Okay, Professor. Okay, so the time is yours, Professor. Professor Reddy? Okay, you can try to share screen now if you would like to. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask questions to all of
Okay.
Okay, Professor, are you here
Audible
now?
for you?
Yeah, yeah. We are ready to hear your material now. Can you try to share your screen? Do you need to share your screen, Professor? Okay, to all of the participants, if you would like to ask something to the professors, please kindly do it in the chat. You can try to chat us, and also you can try to talk directly to the presenters at the discussion session. So you can try to chat and also talk directly to the presenters at the discussion session. Thank you. And if you're afraid that you cannot speak in English or it's hard to express your question in English, you can do it so in Bahasa Indonesia, and I can try to explain it to you and translate it for the presenters. Professor, ready? Okay, looks like Professor Reddy is having internet connection delays at the moment. Okay, while waiting for Professor Reddy, I would like to also say hi to our second speaker, Assistant Professor Gulbin Oskan. Are you here already?
Yes, hello everyone. First of all, I want to welcome to everyone. I am very happy to be here.
Thank you. Dr. Gulbin Oskan, would you like to, should I call you Assistant Professor Gulbin Oskan or Dr. Gulbin, or which one do you prefer?
Dr. Gulbin is enough. Thank you. Dr. Gulbin. Yeah.
Okay, Dr.
Yeah.
Gulbin, are you gonna share the presentation using the PowerPoint later?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, okay. If you're having difficulties, you can also send it into the committee, and then we can share the screen for you.
I can share my screen if
No,
you want.
later. Yeah.
Later.
Later.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You can also
Later.
send it
Okay.
to the committee because we are still waiting for Professor Reddy.
Okay.
Moment. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Gulbin. We will see you again.
Thank you.
In a few minutes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we are trying to contact Professor Reddy, so please wait for a moment, and I think the committee can also doing a break using our videos of our university while we are contacting the professor. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, Professor.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we are waiting for you. Okay.
Yeah, only problem is with this.
Yeah.
And so good morning to all of you. I think it is there, I think 12:30 there. 12:30 there.
Yeah, it's...
And I will share my PowerPoint with you. Okay.
Okay, Professor. Yes, we can see
Yeah.
your... Yes, it's... Yeah, we can see it clearly, Professor.
So good afternoon to all of you. I think I want to talk on a general topic like the research and development, particularly the science and technology in convergence and emerging disciplines for research at the university level by the teachers of the university and all. I am Professor Vishnuvardhan Reddy, presently working as a professor and director, Research and Development Cell in Central University of Karnataka, Kalaburgi. Formerly, I was a professor at University Usmania University, Hyderabad. And as far as this conference is concerned, there are a lot of developments took place around the world during the past several centuries.
Professor, is your connection okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the professor's connection is stopping again. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you able to hear me?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah. So then, actually, there is some slight problem with the internet connectivity. Okay, please bear with me. So, because of the advancement and the needs of the human beings, there is a very rapid developments in the science and technology. And that means today we have new technological capabilities that we are adding for every often to betterment of our life. And emerging discipline has its own defining elements, the phenomena, knowledge, concepts, theories, and methods. So this will distinguish it from its boundaries. However, there are two more branches of knowledge merging with one another to have to form a new activities. So what are the terminology in science and technology? And all of us know what is science now. The science is nothing but the process of discovering, explaining, and predicting the nature and social phenomena. And then the technology means the activity that apply to be self-sufficient in key sectors. So these are the different words we have to keep in mind whenever we are discussing about the research and development through science and technology. At present, the entire world is focusing on science and technology transactions for better economic progress. Now, what is the role of a science and these are the 4 steps in the 5 steps in the science and technology. That is, the science and technology is one of the key drivers empowering the individuals, society, and countries, and also facilitates the development in all its dimensions. Any country's advancement depends upon the science and technology, which can address most of the problems of society. And most of the countries in the world now focusing on science and research, the scientific research for social needs and technological advancements. Therefore, as a faculty members, we have to participate more in science and technology and research and development activities in the universities. And of course, the Hence, we have to get affordable clean energy because earlier we don't have that much. Now we are looking for the green energy now. So that means you have to do a lot of research on that. Similarly, we require the decent work and economic growth due to the research and development, the industry, innovation and infrastructure development. Then we also what you call the how to utilize the depends upon the specific attributes of the individuals and societies that crave luxury, seek prosperity, and cherish identity. Then, coming to the research, are you hearing? Are you hearing?
Yes, Professor. Please? Yes, we can hear you, Professor.
Yeah. Then, whenever we are participating in the research, first we have to see what do you mean by research? It is nothing but it is a methodical scientific activity intended to develop or contribute for a knowledge creation. That is, so it has to facilitate in designing and devising new applications with the help of instrument, procedures, processes, quality of the life. So therefore, we can call the research. The research should be responsive to the changing needs and the demands of the society. And nowadays, we are talking different kinds of the developments in the technology. And as a teachers of the university, we belongs to various departments, various faculties, the science, the arts, social science, technology, engineering, all these things. And we used to have different kinds of the subjects in the earlier. And based on that, we are developing the different kinds of the disciplines. And from these three subjects may be converted into biotechnology, which takes care about a lot of applications. Similarly, the subjects what we are learning from the like physical sciences, chemical sciences, material science, and technology, they can be converted into a technology known as the nanotechnology. Similarly, the mathematical science, computer science, engineering, electronics, engineering. So they are contributing and converging into a new discipline called information technology. Similarly, some of the social science subjects, sociology, economics, and technology management, and this kind of subjects are converging into a new discipline called public policy. And of course, as far as the research is concerned, by making use of these technologies, you can do research for the betterment of the facilities for different fields of our life. And the cluster areas, what we have seen now, that is the different kinds of convergent subjects, like I call them as a fields. For example, if you take the biotechnology is one of the cluster area in a research. So then it will address to the human needs. Human needs, what are they? They are nothing but health, food, energy, environment, and industry. That means health sector, the biotechnology, that means equipments and all, you are developing there. Similarly, food also. Nowadays, we are using a lot of processed food, and a good the food biotechnology. Similarly, if you have the if you see the information technology, it will serve for the human services. There, the governance, security, business, education, and finance. So all these things they will take care. That means, for example, the banking, what you are doing in the banking, you are going for the online banking and all. So you are using the information technology. Similarly for education, and similarly for the business, and security, governance, everything you are using the information technology. So all these things are addressing the human services. Similarly, the subject, the discipline which has converged into a nanotechnology out of some of the subjects. So they are addressing the human comforts like the infrastructure, the materials, electronics, communication, and transport. All these things, the nanotechnology is what you call very much useful. That is, the research in nanotechnology is helping to what you call the invent more new types of the materials which are helpful for the all kind of the applications like electronic communication and all. Similarly, the humanity subjects, particularly the social sciences and other subjects, they are useful to address the human concerns. In this, I mentioned only the public policy. So the public policy is looking after the welfare of the people, the employment, social relations, and other issues they will address in the public policy. Of course, you can make the more kind of the fields to do the research. So that is the cluster areas of research. Here I have shown only 4, but we can have the more number of the fields are there. So therefore, we have to concentrate to research by choosing a particular topic which address any kind of the application for the human needs or human services or human concerns or human comforts. So for this, you have to take one thing and you have to make the innovations in that. To make this, what you have to do is, you have to what you call how to make the innovation. So the innovations and inventions. So these can come are meeting the necessities of all the people on the globe, and also for a country, the national security and also economic growth can be done by this innovation and the inventions in the science and technology. And then, whenever what you call you are doing these innovations, you have to talk about the research innovation ecosystem. Their universities plays very role, particularly the faculty members of the university play approach to contribute for the human progress. In cut short, what I mean to say is, in the research innovation system, ecosystem, what you can have is, you have a plan here, that means you have to plan for a particular application here, then you explore that, and from that, what you call, you manage to get out of that. That means you plan for a particular research for a particular object, and then utilize the, what you call, explore the available resources, and then manage them. And after what you call making them, you make a what you call documentation, that you prepare a draft here, then you can preserve them and you can share with the other people who have a collaboration. That means you are planning and you are useful to breed, analyze, interpret, disseminate, and exploit ideas for generation of knowledge and facilitation of research. That is the research innovation ecosystem. It will create a conducive and motivated environment for enhanced, reliable, impactful, and sustained research output. So this is a research innovation ecosystem can be like this. In this, we want to vertical is a human resource. Then you have to make all these things. For this, to make all these things, we must provide some kind of the infrastructure in university. That is, the provisions must be infrastructure, very good laboratory in the university, or good laboratory at a research and development center in the country, and the incubation facilities in the universities, and finance and funds. That means infrastructure means to carry out the state-of-art research, and the incubation facility is nothing but where you can create a facility for the young research scholars, entrepreneurs to start what you call to invent a device or what you call application, and that has to be what you call given a shape into the product there. And once the product is what you call made, so that can be available for the society. For that, you have to make a incubation facility in the universities, and then for this you have to provide the required finances and funding to make this. Therefore, the research ecosystem, these three important factors one is to consider. A good person must we can build a research innovation ecosystem in this one. In government of India, this what you call year onwards, they have started a policy called New Education Policy 2022. There, they are insisting all the universities to build up the research innovation ecosystem in all the universities. So they are asking the universities to what you call the create research and development cells in all the universities, and also they provide all these the three what you call the factors, related factors in the research and development. So that will be beneficial for the teachers, researchers, and also the society of this one. Now, research innovation quality. The quality is very important. That is, universities need to augment research quality through the protocols. These are protocols, nothing but procedures, what you have to do, and the projects, the publications, patents, and partnerships in a conducive environment for improved and the productive outcomes. Therefore, we have to do this one. That means what you can have is, for example, the university. And then the higher education institutions throughout the globe need to formulate the policy framework and adhere to certain quality benchmarks for research performance that will meet the global and international standards. So that means in this research innovation quality, what you have to do is you must do some kind of the projects out of the priorities. So by utilizing all these things, you have to improve the research innovation quality in the universities. And then research innovation culture. Universities need to focus on developing research culture by changing the attitudes and mindset of the individuals and also the institutional values, objects, and governance system to recognize, respect, and reward the performances of the stakeholders in fostering the research that create wealth from the intellectually derived knowledge from converging disciplines. And by doing this, they have to follow the values and also the governing system. That means, so all these things they have to keep in mind. So whenever you are going to get a good research, good output out of the research, then so this you have to give some kind of incentive to the teachers. That means a teacher is going to contribute for a good research. He has to be encouraged by either promotion or any other kind of this thing. So for this, the teachers also plays to major role. And how to inculcate the research innovation culture in the universities and among the faculty members. So for the research promotion, what you can have is this research promotion. Hello. Just I will talk to you. I'm in the meeting now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What time is the call you, sir? After half an hour. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. So then, first of all, in the Research Innovation Center, you have to identify research thrust areas. So this means not only in science and technology, you can also research thrust areas in your arts, social sciences, arts. That means includes your culture and everything, your heritage sites and all. Your travel, tourism, everything comes into that. So what is the research thrust areas that you have to identify? So, and then for the people those who are done and produced good results, you have to give some kind of the research incentives. So therefore, seeing out of measurable research objectives, comprehensive research plans, and valued research practices which promote research through mentoring, monitoring, recognition, and rewarding for productive outputs, building research capacity, ensuring research integrity, identifying research thrust areas, and facilitating the establishment of research clusters leads to strong foundation for the research culture in the universities. And then the research innovation and incubation facilities. And in the emerging to provide a platform to do the research which needs as per the societal changes. Okay, And that is in the collaborative way you have to do it. These centers, that is the inquest centers, mandate the importance of first areas of research which have the social relevance, local indulgence, national importance, and global significance related. All these factors have to be taken care by using appropriate cluster areas. So, should provide essential platforms to expand.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, looks like the professor is having connection difficulties. So all participants, you are very welcome to give the question through the chat and also directly to the professor later in the discussion session. At the moment, we are still waiting for the professor to coming through. Yes, professor. Yeah. We're
Hello,
losing you,
able to hear me?
professor. Yeah, we can still hear you. Professor, is it okay if some of us wants to ask you some question, or do you want to finish your presentation first, professor? Hello, Professor Reddy. Okay. Yeah. Hello, Professor. Yeah, we cannot hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's good.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Right now it's good. So, Professor, we already have someone who would like to ask question. Do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to move on into the discussion session, or?
Okay, wait. I will participate in the discussion session. I will see that the net connection will be right at the time. I think I can able to share 2 more slides for you now.
Yes. Okay, Professor. Thank you.
So this is the facilities you have to create. Okay. Then coming to the conclude in this presentation. So one is we have to address the important factors and successful steps for developing the emerging technology of science and technology to evaluate new knowledge areas, particularly in the
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience because the connection is not very good in Professor's place. But instead of that, he's still trying to give us a lot of knowledge. So we should be very, very appreciative of his actions at the moment. So for now, we are begging for your patience so that the professor can come back again and give us a lot and more knowledge. And before that, please prepare your question because after this, we're going to have the discussion session. Okay, while waiting for the professor, I would like to say hi to some of the participants who are already in here. I can see the participants from Polinela. Okay, I will enable the unmute for yourself. So you can also say hi to everyone in here. I'm calling upon the participant from Polinela. Are you here? We have the participant from Polinela, Febria Siska and Bapak Subandi from Polinela. Thank you for coming here, Bapak. And Ibu Febria Siska.
Febria Siska. Yes, I am.
Thank you for participating in our event, Bapak dan Ibu from Polinela. And I would like also saying hi to the participants from Universitas Dayanu Ihsanuddin, Bapak Aziz. Are you here now? And also the participants from UIN Rafah PLG, is it Palembang? Muhammad Isnaini from FST UIN Rafah PLG. And also Ibu Nanda Nabila Aljana from UIN Raden Fatah. Oh, it's the same ya, Palembang ya. Ibu Nanda Nabila. Are you here? And also Bapak Nur Rama Pratama from UIN Raden Fatah. And Bapak Pandu. Oh, we have a lot of participants from UIN Raden Fatah. Okay. Professor, are you with us right now in the moment?
Yeah. And actually, that's what I want to present because of that. That's what I'm now joined with the mobile. Okay. Only thing I want to tell you, all the participants, they have to concentrate, all the faculty members. This is actually, I prepared a general talk for the teachers participating for all over the place. Only thing is they have to actively participate in the research and development. Okay. Further, the universities, particularly the government, has created the facilities. So they make it like the facilities to produce the better kind of the research in the changing era of that one. All the subjects, not only physics, chemistry, and all the subject teachers, they have to participate in that. Even mathematics also. Mathematics people, they will prepare the lot of mathematical models. Whereas technology people, they will make the products. So therefore, they have to concentrate on that. In fact, I'm a scientist of do research in material science. One of my students, I think you are faculty member there, Alvia Nurha. She did her PhD in my guidance. I worked in fuel cell materials, which are very useful for fuel cell, the fuel cells, which converts the directly hydrogen into the electricity. So like that, we have to concentrate. We have to take a particular topic on that. We have to do the research. Okay. So this was, I think I can conclude this. It's, I think a lot of time I took, but the only thing is I want to give a general kind of structure. What is the research ecosystem and where we are standing as a teachers and the universities where we are standing. The primary object is we have to build the research ecosystems in the universities in which the teachers also, research university teachers and other teachers, they are very, very important factors to utilize that. Okay. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And I'm very sorry because of the net problem here. And I think today some problem is there. I cannot able to share all the slides because I have some more slides, particularly applicable to this one. Okay. In the evening, I will participate in the discussion in the mobile because the connection will be there. I will participate. I will address the participant in the debate. I will answer the students. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Okay.
Thank you very much, Professor Reddy. And now, Professor Reddy, we have one question from the participants.
Okay.
Is it okay? Okay. For the participants, please kindly ask the question to Professor Reddy.
Yeah.
We are having Bapak Prihadi. Hello, are you here, Bapak Prihadi?
Okay. Can you hear me, Mrs. Tara?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, can I ask now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Tara. I would like to ask to Professor Reddy. That was good. That was a great explanation about the convergence of science and technology. One question that I'm a little bit curious about what position of social science or maybe the theology one on this convergence of technology, because as you know, our university is based on Islamic studies. So
and
social science in this conference.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Prihadi.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that is the question. Yeah.
So whatever be the subject, whether it is Islamic science or any kind of thing, there are a lot of applications. For example, if you take the Islamic science, then you can tell about the literature about the total Islamic science, and also what you can is okay. Are you hearing?
Yes, Professor. Yes.
Yeah. In the Islamic science, that means what you can do is you can do research whatever earlier in the centuries that was developed, and the present centuries what you can do is, and what are the different kinds of the centers, what you know as the popular the structures and all. You can make them to other people to visit there. Okay, and there they can based on the people visiting the particular shrines, important places. So then you can provide the infrastructure facilities for them, and other facilities you can do by using that. So that means the Islamic fellow can decide define what are the requirements of the people coming to the important places. Okay, and then for them how to do that. That kind of thing they can do the research. Okay, and they can propagate the oneness throughout the humankind in the world. So how to that? So that kind of research also they can do it. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Professor. So social science is also an important part for the convergence of all of the technology in human for human, right, Professor? Okay, thank you very much, Professor Reddy, for all of your explanation and also the knowledge that you already shared to us. So we are very, very grateful for you, and we are very thankful for you as well, Professor. Thank you. And I'm really sorry because of the time, so we have to move on into the next session. I hope we can see you again in the future, and maybe you can come over to Indonesia to visit us in Walisongo, Professor.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. We will see you again later.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye, Professor. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. ladies and gentlemen, we are having another session from another presenter, which is Dr. Gulbin Ozgan. Are you still here, Dr. Ozgan?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. Okay. Before we move on into the material of Dr. Gulbin Ozgan, please let me introduce her with reciting her curriculum vitae or resume. So we are having here the Dr. Gulbin Ozgan. Is it the right way how to pronounce it, or can you show me how?
Yes. Is it true?
Oh, is it true? Okay.
It is true. It's true. Yes.
Okay, great. So Dr. Gulbin Ozgan is the assistant professor, and at the moment she's in Yildiz Technical University, Davut Paşa campus in Faculty of Education in Esenler in Istanbul. And she got her doctorate from Yildiz Technical University Graduate School of Natural and Applied Sciences in Science Education in Turkey in 2015 until 2020. And she finished her postgraduate degree from the Dokuz Eylül University Institute of Educational Sciences in Physics Teachings in Turkey, and she also finished her undergraduate at 2006 until 2011 at Dokuz Eylül University Bulka Faculty of Education, Secondary Education in Science and Mathematics Education, Turkey. Is that true, Dr. Ozgan?
Yes, it's true.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah. And at the moment, Dr. Ozgan will explain to us the importance of arts and STEM education. As we know that usually we familiar with STEM, right? STEM. But Dr. Ozgan will also explain to us that it is also important to add something. What is it? It is art. So she will explain the importance of the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics fields in individual to learn and to improve their ability to solve multidisciplinary problems. Okay, Dr. Ozgan, the time is yours.
Okay, I can share my screen.
Sure.
Okay. The title of my presentation is The Importance of Arts and STEM Education. The aim of my presentation is to underline the importance of art fields added to STEM to explain the theoretical infrastructure of STEM education. And to explain the contribution of art field to creativity and to examine the design process in STEM education. STEM education is accepted as one of the largest educational movements in recent years, and it contains 3 instructional approaches: multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary. STEM is a multidisciplinary holistic approach that aims to teach students integrally in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics disciplines. With interdisciplinary integration, 2 or more disciplines are combined into specific concept to achieve the learning objectives. Transdisciplinary integration provides students with opportunity to answer fundamental questions in the real world using inquiry, problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, and innovation. Before moving on the STEM education, I would like to briefly talk about the STEM in Turkey. In Turkey, interest in STEM research has recently begun increasing. Turkey's new 2017 draft middle school curricula also focused on STEM education and engineering skills. STEM education is an evolving process, is still as an evolving process in Turkey and not fully integrated into the curriculum, and a more qualified and comprehensive implementation of STEM education is still necessary. This is the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. Actually, interdisciplinary studies are important because many things we see around us have emerged through these studies. This is a great example of engineering at the same time science, mathematics, and technology is used. Today's most advanced technological experiments are carried out in the structure which was built with the most advanced technology. This is the another example. The most important marvel of engineering in the history of humanity is the transmission of electricity from a network. This example is another multidisciplinary use of science, mathematics, and engineering. Another example, the Colosseum, the largest known icon of Roman architecture. The Colosseum is the largest amphitheater built with a capacity of 50,000 people. This structure is the one of the famous work of art we know is a work of engineering and mathematics. As can be seen, interdisciplinary studies are important. STEAM implementations come to the fore in this sense. In 2011, Korea's Ministry of Education, Science and Technology proposed a STEAM education as science, T, technology, E, engineering, A, arts, and mathematics, and arts, adding a fifth discipline to STEM. STEM education consists of the learning experiences which increases students' motivation for scientific and mathematical learning, establishes connections between real life, arouses their interest, and helps them to understand how to learn and focus. In other words, STEM means the transition from what we be taught and to what I shall experiences. And in this way, emphasize content, design, and emotional convergence. The main factors of the STEAM education are context, creative design, and emotional touch. STEAM education is considered as a way of encouraging interdisciplinary creativity and creative thinking. One of the factors here is the context, what we want to teach. Context means what we want to teach. Creative design is to add an aesthetic perspective to the educational environment. Emotional touch refers to effective learning. STEM education comes to the forefront by conceptualizing in the form of one, project-based learning, two, technology in the context of creativity and design, three, approach to question a problem by using multiple ways, four, science, technology, engineering, arts, and human sciences and mathematics, which are required by the problem, five, collaborative problem solving. Thanks to the advantages of the arts, STEAM education offers many opportunities for the students to develop themselves in several fields. These advantages are the development of cognitive growth, enhancement of long-term memory, increasing social growth, reducing stress, increasing attractiveness in subject areas, and encouraging creativity. STEM education STEAM education was supported to emphasize the ability to understand imagination and especially artistic emotions of students, as well as understand the scientific context. The purpose of STEAM education is to integrate science, technology, engineering, and mathematics with basic capacities called 4C. The one C is communication, another one is creativity, convergence, and caring. Art embraces these 4 skills and provides teachers and their students with many opportunities for being involved in complex and integrated teaching and learning, especially when they are integrated with STEM fields. The reasons of an art component is needed in STEAM education. The reason one is art encourages creative thinking in science via creativity, imagination, communication, and sensitivity. The reason two is the skills and artistic sensibilities of individuals are combined in science and technology. STEM education, which supports logical, mathematical thinking, offers opportunities for activities that include creativity, expression, and visual aspects of design and engineering tasks to explore science and mathematics. Creativity is the very important thing in STEAM education. Creativity in STEAM education means producing ideas and strategies which are critical in thinking as an individual or as a community, are producing reasonable expressions and strategies that are consistent with relevant data. Creativity is a very important skill for the future of countries. Therefore, it should be brought to individuals through education. STEM focuses on becoming globally competitive through creative problem solving, decision making, artistic knowledge, and expertise in science education. With the addition of the art field, researchers in the literature try to determine the differences between STEM and STEAM. This conflict between STEM and STEAM stems partly from the innovation and deficiency research and conceptual understanding of STEAM. Although STEM focuses on the mathematics and science, STEAM focuses on design, computer graphics, art exhibition, art as an expression, and even involves creative problem solving that solves problems while exploring solutions. STEAM encourages teamwork more than cooperation. On the other hand, STEAM deals with art that involves design in a wider sense while researching and designing solutions. STEAM may also include design education elements, which creative process are used to examine the aesthetics and benefits of the elements in our daily life. While STEM is considered as a logical, analytical, and useful, art is considered as intuitive, emotional, frivolous. Art creativity provides a new motivation for STEM because it develops problem-solving skills, memory, motor coordination, and analytical skills. Now I want to talk about how can apply this STEAM approach in the educational environment. The core of STEAM education lies the ability of students in designing their own ideas and in understanding the tendencies of others in some learning situations. In STEM education, generally engineering design is employed. A design process in STEM generally consists of the steps like clarifying the problem, creating a problem for needs, planning the design, creating a prototype, testing the prototype, optimizing the prototype and analyzing the product, and presenting the resulting product. Although the engineering and design process includes similar design process and similar dispositions with the STEAM design, the differences between them that the design products, buildings, computer graphics, interactive video games, and other similar elements in STEAM design is based on aesthetic concerns than in an engineering design circle. The STEM design process must support the creativity. This is the most important thing. In this process, for the purpose of developing creative knowledge, students are given a situation in which they can find new ways to explain the science phenomena and make predictions, solve problems, express or implying unknowns. They are the steps of the STEAM design processes. First step is experiencing priming water for an idea. Problems are identified and idea is created for the subject as the beginning, because the design process begins with a problem. The second step is coming with an idea. In this step, it is ensured that students create a variety of ideas for the given problem situation and share them collaboratively. The third one is planning and design fusion. In this step, the ideas of the students are merged and grouped together as plans. Another step is making or synthesizing. In this step, it is ensured that students make products or syntheses based on science, technology, engineering, and especially artistic ideas. Testing step. It is ensured that students are encouraged to experiment with the products they produced and to determine whether they produced the solutions. In the evaluation step, it's ensured that all groups present their products to each other, perform intergroup evaluations, and through these, the idea is improved. Finally, I would like to give you some suggestions about STEM education. It may be considered that some activities are more appropriate to encourage creativity in education. These activities are providing opportunities for creative or different ideas and leading aesthetic experiences. More studies are needed to investigate the outcomes and the nature of both STEM and STEAM education. It's important to note that there is still much to be learned about the nature of STEAM education and the variables involved. It's believed that if the teachers have adequate awareness of STEAM education, they can implement STEAM activities in classroom environment easily. Each educator must be able to carry out the activities that will increase the creativity of students in his or her class. Teachers have a great deal of responsibility in our present day as knowledge is constantly increasing. In organizing the educational environment, teachers must show students how to access information instead of presenting information to them. It may be advised to educators to focus more on STEAM fields, to include STEAM activities during lessons, to follow the developments in this area closely. In the educational movement, educational environment, students must be set free as much as possible because it encourages their creativity. When they are converting their ideas into design, and the teacher should be in the position of a guide. The creativity of students must not be limited. Students must be supported by, learn by doing and experiencing. Developing the creativity of students is critical for the future countries. Developing new activities will make important contributions to the literature and diversifying the activities using in STEAM education research by implementing them with different classes, levels, and units will contribute to improvement of teaching process in schools. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ozgan.
Thank you.
The knowledge from you is very innovating, Dr. Ozgan, because usually we are only having the STEM, STEM, but right now you added the arts for it, Dr. Ozgan.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now we can move on into the discussion session. Is that okay? Or do you have another PPT? No, PowerPoint?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So to all of the participants, please kindly ask your question into the chat room, and also you can say it directly. Is anybody here would like to ask a question? You can also say it in Bahasa Indonesia, and I can translate it for you to Dr. Ozgan here. To all of the participants, do you have any question? How about maybe Bapak Aden Dana Rizkita? Do you have any question, Bapak Aden? Or maybe Ibu Ervin? Okay. Dr. Ozgan, we have one question coming to the committee. So, Dr. Ozgan, we know that the how to differentiate between STEAM and STEM. How to say it? Is it STEAM and STEAM or STEAM and
STEM? And STEAM.
Oh, okay. STEM and STEAM.
STEAM.
Okay.
STEAM. Yes.
STEAM. Okay. So, Dr. Ozgan, we know that the STEAM with the arts is one of the more beneficial way for the student to motivate them more. But do you know if there is any what is it? How to say hampers or is there any drawbacks of that technique or that method? Drawbacks, it's like the negative effect, or maybe because of the STEM with the art, STEAM with the art, we have to prepare more, maybe from the teacher side or the student side. Is there any like that a bad or a drawbacks or a negative effect?
I can't believe actually. I did a study in my PhD thesis. I used the STEAM education approach, and the students in the learning environment is always free. They thinking what they want, so their creativity is developing, and their how can I say, their interest in science lessons is increasing. So I can't believe. Maybe I did an interview with the students. All of them have a positive views. Give a positive views.
But how about the teacher? Do they have to prepare more things before they implement the the arts?
Yes, from the teacher's view, it's hard to prepare the STEAM activities, actually. So I think teachers educated for this. Maybe we can evaluate a lot of activity and developing, give them for implement in the classroom. So it's hard, and time, the lesson time is sometimes is not enough because the students is free in the classroom. So maybe teachers cannot be control the lesson time.
Okay, so we need more preparations because you have to include the arts of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dr. Oscar, we have another question from the participants. Okay. Is there any example, Dr. Oscar, how to implement the arts parts into the science lesson? For example,
Okay. Actually, I mentioned before I prepare a lot of examples of the STEAM approach activities. I have an article for this. If any researchers interested in, I can send the samples. Art is it is if you want to integrate the art in the lessons, you can give the students a lot of materials, a lot of colors and different things. Students, all of it's free. Maybe you can use the computer games. Maybe you can use the Web2 tools. You can use anything, but it's important that students should be free.
Okay. So so you can let everything to the creativity of the student, Dr. Oskan.
Yes.
Okay. So, Dr. Oskan, we have one more question from the participants. Maybe I can call upon Miss Fuji Astuti. Would you like to ask some question? It can be in English or in Bahasa. Hello, Miss Fuji.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Sarah. It's still about an art. Okay, related to art in STEAM, can making mind map be expressed as a form of integration of art?
Yeah, so Dr. Oskan, we know that we can also making a mind map. So can it be included in the or expressed as a form of integration of art in the STEAM?
Yes, you can use a mind map because it's students feel free when they are using a mind map. But art is actually different meaning in this STEAM education. You can use, yes, but maybe students don't like to use mind map. You don't want to use it in this situation. Art meanings in the literature about STEAM education, and not just the music, painting, or
drawing.
Yeah, not just these things. It's at the same time the humanity and the social sciences.
Like
the
doing
students-
maybe debate between with this theory and that theory, something like that. It's
Yes.
arts too, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, all of it's arts.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you mean that this art is not like fine arts, but it's also social science arts, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
humanity. Yes, all of
Humanity,
it.
social sciences, and also fine arts. Okay, thank you. Is that answering
Okay.
your question, Miss Fuji?
Okay, yes. Thank you, Dr. Calvin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Fuji. Okay. So Dr. Ozgan in here already explained to you the importance that we are not only relying on our left side of the brain, right? We have to also explore our right side of the brain, which is the creativity and also the arts that we can optimize the lesson in, especially in science. Is that what you meant, Dr. Oskan? Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there any more question for
Thank
Dr. Oskan here? Okay, looks like all of the participants already embraced what you already told us, Dr. Oskan. Thank you very much, Dr. Oskan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we will see you again in the future, Dr. Oskan. Please kindly visit us here too.
Thank you.
Keep in contact, Dr. Oskan.
Keep in contact. Okay.
Okay, thank you. See you again later, Dr. Oskan. Okay, goodbye. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are right now already finishing the second presenter. And after that, we are gonna have the third presenter, which is Ibu Alwiyah Nurhayati. Okay, Ibu Alwiyah, are you here already?
I'm here already.
Okay, Ibu Alwiyah, can you? I'm trying to do a spotlight for you at the moment, but okay, Ibu Alwiyah, can you say one more time again?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna spotlight you here. Okay, Ibu Alwiyah, please let me read your resume. So, okay, so we are having Ibu Alwiyah, Ibu Alwiyah Nurhayati, MSc, PhD. She's taking the PhD in physics at Osmani University, India, and she also got her Master of Science in Physics at 10 November Institute of Technology in Indonesia, and also she got the Bachelor of Science in Physics at the same place in 10 November Institute of Technology in Indonesia. She's now working as a lecturer in the Department of Physics in Walisongo, Semarang from January 2011 until the present. So Ibu Alwiyah here would like to present to us about the prospect of calcium manganite based materials for high temperature thermoelectric application. To Ibu Alwiyah Nurhayati, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tara, for this session. Actually, I would like to share my presentation here. Wait. Can you see the
Okay,
slides?
we can see the slide, Dr. Alwiyah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon to all participants and dear respected the Chancellor of UIN Walisongo Semarang, Professor Dr. Imam Taufik MAG, and dear respected the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology, Dr. Haji Ismail MAG. Please introduce myself. My name is Alwiyan Rahayati. Currently, I'm working in the Department of Physics, UIN Walisongo Semarang. Today, I would like to deliver my presentation with a specific topic. And the topic of my presentation today is about the prospect of calcium manganite-based materials for high temperature thermoelectric application by introducing doping elements. This presentation I deliver today based on my experience in materials field. So, because of the topic of this seminar is about education, science and technology for humanity and civilization. So maybe my presentation today is just a small part of the topic like that. So nowadays, we know that there are two main aspects that must be considered in every country when we face the midst of a global crisis. There are two aspects here. The first one is food security, and the second is energy security. So my talk here today will focus on the second one, that is energy security, that we, or especially me, can give contribution in this field. So the progress of civilization actually can be measured in a simple way, that is by calculating the energy use by the human in a regular basis, in a daily basis. Every day, how many calories they spend, we can measure the progress of the human civilization from that amount. So for that, let's take a moment for review about the history of the energy in human civilization. Actually, there are two periods, first era and second era. In the first era, that is about 7 million to 500 years. 500,000 years back. The energy sources that human utilized, including foods, wind, and water power. So for the first era, about 7 million to 1 million years ago, this is called or known as the plant economy. So human in daily life, they depend on the plant in nature. So they eat food, create food or cooking in something. They eat from the plants surrounding them. Like that. And then at the era, the human daily energy consumption is about 2,000 calories per day. And then for the second period, there is 1 million to 500,000 years back. Fire was first recognized, and then the human utilized this thing as a heater, and then also for cooking purpose, and also lighting, and also protection from the wild animals. And for these periods, human daily energy consumption is about 4,000 calories per day. Going to the next period that is called Mesolithic era. This is about 10,000 to 5,000 years before century. So in this era, humans started farming, and they also developed many kind of tools made of metals, wood, ceramics, and so on. But mainly in this kind of materials. And still, wind and water used as energy sources, mainly to drive the windmills. And then in this era also, firewood was still the main energy source for making fire and for cooking purpose, as I mentioned before. And energy consumption was starting to increase for consumptive and productive activities. And also in this era, humans began to live sedentary lives with an increasing population. So the population increasing will result the increment of energy demand. In short words like that. And then come to the second era. This is 500 years ago up to now. The dominant source of energy come from fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and natural gas. And this source of energy were utilized or used for machine operation. For example, a steam engine that converts heat into mechanical energy. So for the second era is from 5th century AD to 17th century. In this era, the Romans started using coal. So coal was known in this era. And then the Romans also used these materials for their daily needs. And the price of firewood that was one of main energy source in the previous era was more expensive than coal materials. And in this era also, coal in China is used as fuel in metallurgical processes. So in this era, metallurgical processes was also firstly known in that era. And then energy transition also happened from firewood to coal in this second era. And then the next part or period of the second era, this is better known as the era of fossil economy. The first one is the invention of steam engines started in the era of Industrial Revolution in the 18th century. So in this era, began to be found the other fossil energy sources. So before they knew about the coal. So in this era, they knew other sources of fossil energy. That is oil and natural gas. And in this era, the use of fossil energy were used more efficient, right? And the era of industrialization and the invention of electricity has increasingly driven the increase in energy demand. This is the consequence of the industrialization era. And then the economic progress and development of a country is closely related to its energy consumption. So, talking about fossil fuels, that is sources of energy consist of coal, oil, and natural gas. And these sources are used in power generation. But in other side, beside the advantages to get the power from these sources, there are also many effects caused by the use of fossil fuels sources. The first effect in this term is a negative effect of the use of fossil fuels in power generation is the harmful emission produced by the process in the use of the fossil fuels. And the other side is the depletion of the natural resources of the fossil fuels. And these harmful emissions will cause many effects. The first is global warming, and then environmental pollution and climate change. So from the history of energy in human civilization, we can briefly know about the energy transformation from one era to following era, like that. If I can make make a brief explanation like that. So at the mid of 19th century, the energy sources was coal. They use human use coal for energy source. And then in the mid of 20th century, they use human use coal and oil for energy sources. And begin on 1970, the energy sources used are were oil and nuclear. And above 1970 to now, the energy sources used are nuclear and renewable energy. And renewable energy, maybe we know several types of renewable energy that is called clean energy also. Maybe we know solar cell, and then or photovoltaic, and the other also we know thermoelectric devices to produce energy. In this term is electricity in a clean way, like that. So this is the new kind of energy sources that we need today, because we will go for the the better sources that with not cause a harmful effect for the environment. So in this talk, I will talk about one kind of renewable energy, that is thermoelectric source. So thermoelectrics, based on its name, thermo and electric, this is a kind of device that converts the heat energy into electricity. But in these materials, we use waste heat energy. Waste heat energy we can get from the automobiles, from the industrial machines like that, we can gain the heat sources from that kind of things. So thermoelectric energy converters usually consist of two pairs like this. We call it one set of P and N-type leg arrays connected by metal wires. So in this device, there is a heater and cooler will produce temperature difference around the module. Firstly, the top junction initially heated from this picture, and the bottom initially cooled. Now, after that, the differential or difference temperature will be created, and then that it will be heat absorption like that. Because of that heat absorption, it will produce electron and hole pairs at the hot end in this. And then the pairs will recombine and release heat at the cold end. And then from this process, the seebeck voltage is generated. When the seebeck voltage generated, so the current will flow in this arrays. This is for the seebeck effect. And then for the thermoelectric cooling process, this is the arrays of the device. So in this device, electron and hole pairs will be generated in the vicinity of the junction. And then when the voltage applied to this array, so the pairs will flow away like that. And then from junction, it will result in cooling at one end and heating at the other end. And the current also will flow. So coming to the next is the advantages of the thermoelectric generators. There are many advantages of this device. The first one, have no moving parts during the conversion process. So when the heat converted to the electricity, so no moving parts will include in this device. And then the second one is the simple configuration of the device. And the third is the maintenance-free operation. So this is a maintenance-free operation. We can reduce the cost for maintenance, like energy converters have in other field. And then adaptability for any temperature range. Actually, thermoelectric materials has three main range temperature operation. So there is the first one is low temperature application. Second one is middle, or what we call like I forget the name. Middle temperature, and then high temperature range. And next is a silent process and operation. So there will be no noise when the conversion happens. and no harmful gases are released during the power generation, so it will reduces the greenhouse effect. There are some thermoelectric parameters that determine the performance of the material. And all of the parameters are included in this formulation. That is ZT equal to S squared sigma T by K. ZT, this is the dimensionless figure of merit, which is the further related to the Seebeck coefficient. S is the Seebeck coefficient. Sigma is electrical conductivity. K is the thermal conductivity, and T is the absolute temperature. This is the main formulation in studying thermoelectric phenomena. So from this formulation also we can see that for getting the best or high performance thermoelectric materials, so it should have high Seebeck coefficients, and then good electrical conductivity and low thermal conductivity. And from this formulation also, for S squared S squared into sigma, we usually called in thermoelectric as power factor. The next is the categories of thermoelectric materials. In general, we classified into two kinds of thermoelectric materials. The first one is inorganic thermoelectric materials, and the second one is organic thermoelectric materials. In inorganic thermoelectric materials, for the first one, this is the group of metal chalcogenides, and the second one is metal oxide. The third one, the superionic conductor, and then silicon-based material. And the last one is cutterides, clatterides, and Hausler alloys. In the organic thermoelectric materials, we have two kinds of materials. The first one is conjugated polymer thermoelectric materials and nanocomposite polymer thermoelectric materials. Because in this topic, I will tell about specific materials, that is calcium manganate-based materials, which is included in oxide thermoelectric type materials. So if we talk about oxide thermoelectric materials, there are two types of oxide thermoelectric materials. The first one is the P-type thermoelectric materials. Up to now, the popular oxide materials for the P-type is Ca3CO409. We call it calcium cobaltite. This is the P-type thermoelectric materials. And the second is the N-type thermoelectric materials. We have several kind of materials. The first one is zinc oxide, and then strontium titanate, and the third is calcium manganite. Okay, and then the calcium manganite itself, it has orthorhombic crystal structure, as you can see in the slide like that. So this is the A side. The A side is the side of calcium, and then for the black points here, this is a B side, and also this is also the B side for the empty points, which belongs to the B side. B side belongs to manganese. This is belongs to manganese. And then for the O, for the O side, this is for the O side, which is what is that, identified by this circle. And the structure of these materials, that is orthorhombic structure, is one of benefit for developing this material as thermoelectric materials and specified in a high temperature application. So coming to the electronic properties of these materials, it depends on this side, the MnO6 octahedron. In this side, this is we can see that for this purple circle or purple ball here, it is belongs to the manganese atom, and then the red one belongs to oxygen atoms. And this is the side that, what is that, determine the electric properties of the materials. And then the conduction mechanism of these materials is due to small polaron hopping. The schematics is as presented in the slide. So with a strong electron lattice interaction, the conduction electron polarized underlying the crystal lattice. Then on the lattice points, on the position themselves and cause lattice distortions because of this phenomena. And then the localized electrons are referred to as small polarons and move by hopping mechanism. And then the Coulomb interaction between the carrier and polarized crystal lattice causes the distortion of the lattice. And this is why this side determine the electrical characteristic of these materials. And coming to the preparation methods of these materials, there are two main methods to prepare these materials. The first one is solid state reaction method, in which we can mix the carbonate, like calcium carbonates and then manganese carbonate in a powder formed, and then we mixed it and grind it using mortar and pestle. Or we can use that one ball milling tools for doing this solid state reaction method. And then the powder will be heated at particular temperature for some hours, or depend on the synthesis process, like that. And then also depend on, maybe we can do the heat treatment based on the DTA, TGA data to know the crystallization point at what temperature, like that. And the second one is a soft chemistry method. It's including citrate, salt gel method, like that, hydrothermal method, and so and so. In this method, we use one liquid paste after mixing all of the nitrate precursors, like that, if we can say like that, into homogeneous liquid, and then we apply heat treatment until the gel formed, and then following by another heat treatment. So coming to the next is the thermoelectric properties of calcium manganite based material. Actually, for the pure materials of calcium manganite, which have name CaMnO3, it exhibits high Seebeck coefficient. That is, sorry, this is about minus 350 MV per K, and low thermal conductivity, about 3 W by MK. So from these parameters, we can see that it has potential as thermoelectric materials, but in other side, it has a high electrical resistivity. In order to overcome this problem, so many researchers have worked to overcome these problems by introducing doping on the A side by using rare earth elements, and the B side by transition metals. So mainly they work in this doping. So after giving or introducing doping in both sides, we can do single doping or dual doping to get the better performance in thermoelectric properties. So after doing doping, the electrical conductivity will be increased, and the thermal conductivity will decrease. And coming to the recent study on calcium manganite based material for high temperature thermoelectric application, actually there are plenty of works done by many investigators. But in this time, I just present some of them. The first one is La-DOP CaMnO3, in which La will be was substituted in the A side of Ca. So this is the graph of the ZT value of the materials. And then as we can see in the graph, that it has been operated up to 1200 Kelvin for the high temperature application. This is for the La-DOP CaMnO3. And also this is Ta-DOP CaMnO3 also done by previous investigator, and they got the ZT value. This is below 800, about nearly 0.2 the ZT, and the highest here for 1000 Kelvin, about 1000 Kelvin. This is LA-DOPE CMNO3. The ZT value reached above 0.4. And this is because from this doping done in CMNO3 because of done by different investigators, so they applied in different range of temperature. As we can see here for LA-DOPE, there is one investigator who did up to 1,200 Kelvin for high temperature application. And then other kind of doping here, DY and YB also have been done, and also Y, E3A, and then HO, ER, SM, as we can see here, for single doping at A site. And for the highest ZT here, up to 1,000 Kelvin, reached by the DY dope CMNO3. And then this is the electrical resistivity for dual doping at the A site of the CMNO3 ceramics. So the CA site has been doped by two kinds of elements. As we can see here, this is the graph of the electrical resistivity versus the temperature applied. And then the other parameters here, also the Seebeck coefficient for dual doping at the A site of CMNO3 ceramics. So this is on the vertical line is Seebeck coefficient, and the horizontal line is the temperature applied. As you can see here, the DY and TM dual doping CMNO3 have the highest lowest Seebeck coefficient. So for the highest is the minus this one, the what is it? This is DYER at about 1,100 Kelvin. And then the thermal conductivities for dual doping at the A site for CMNO3 also presented here. This is the thermal conductivity parameters, and then this is the temperature applied. For the lowest thermal conductivity reached by dual doping DY and HO dual dope CMNO3. The temperature about nearly reach the 1,000 Kelvin. And then this is the figure of merit of dual doping at the A site for CMNO3 ceramics. For the highest CT here, we can see belongs to DY and YB dual dope CMNO3. And then coming to the dual doping at BA and B sites for CMNO3 ceramics here, as we can see from the graph, for the temperature range applied up to 1,000 Kelvin. This is a little bit above 1,000 Kelvin. The highest CT belongs to the BI and Phi dual doping. BI substituted at the CA site, and the Phi substituted at the B site or the manganese site. That's all what I can present today. Thank you. Actually, there are many recommendations and many opportunities to do research in these fields, because the demand of energy will always increase because the population of the human also increase. Thank you for the time and for hear my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Awia Nurhayati, PhD, for your great knowledge for us. And we will do the discussion session later after the presentation with Ibu Ani Mu'analifa. Is that okay with you, Ibu Awia?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ibu Awia. We will see you again soon.
Okay. Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you to fill the absent form or the present form in the chat if you haven't to do so. And at the moment, we are having Ibu Ani Mu'analifa, PhD. Are you here, Ibu Ani? Ibu Ani? Can you hear me?
Ya, sebentar ya. Wait.
Okay, Ibu Ani. Ibu Ani, please let me read your curriculum vitae and also your resume. So we are having Ibu Ani Mu'analifa, PhD. She got her PhD in the University of Birmingham, United Kingdom, the PhD in pure mathematics. She also got her Master of Science of Mathematics in the Institute Technology of 10 November Indonesia, and she got her Bachelor of Education in Mathematics Education from the University of Muhammadiyah from Gresik, Indonesia. And her PhD project was about a tropical version of SQL's key exchange protocol, which was suggested by Grigoriev and Spielrein and successfully attacked by Kotov and Ushakov. And she has given talk into the LAMS or LAMS, the University of Birmingham. This talk was given at the lunchtime applied mathematics seminar, which focused on commuting matrices in tropical algebra to construct the new protocols. She also has given talk to the tropical geometry meets representation theory, the second, at the University of Leicester. This talk focused on 2 classes of commuting matrices in tropical algebra for constructing the new protocols. She also has given talk to the British Young Mathematician Colloquium at the University of Birmingham and also to the IACR Summer School, Euclidean Lattices, Theory and Applications, Immanuel Kant Baltic Federal University in Kaliningrad. And also she joined the Joint Algebra Seminar at UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Indonesia. Okay, and at the moment, she's the lecturer in Department of Mathematics at UIN Walisongo, Semarang, but she also postgraduate teaching assistant in the School of Mathematics at the University of Birmingham at United Kingdom. And Miss Ani Mu'analifa, PhD, will talk to us about the Diffie-Hellman key exchange protocol, the brilliant algorithm that makes it possible to communicate securely over a public network. Okay, Ibu Ani Mu'analifa?
Yep.
Are you ready to give the talk?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Okay, the time is yours.
Wait.
Yes, the slide is visible right now.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, and thank you for the organizer who give me the opportunity to give a talk in this conference. So, dear respected the Chancellor of UIN Walisongo Semarang, Professor Dr. Imam Taufik MAG, and also dear respected to Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology UIN Walisongo Semarang, Dr. Haji Ismail MAG. Okay, so my name is Ani Monalifa. I am a mathematics lecturer at UIN Walisongo Semarang, and today I'm going to talk about the Diffie-Hellman K-exchange protocol, the brilliant algorithms that makes it possible to communicate securely over a public network. So before I'm going to talk about the Diffie-Hellman K-exchange protocol, let me introduce the main character here, Alice as a sender and Bob as a receiver, and also Charlie in here as an attacker. So here, Alice has a sensitive document that she wants to share with Bob. She used an encryption program to protect the document with a password that she chooses. Then she sent the document to Bob. But the problem here, Bob cannot open the document because Bob doesn't have the key. So how Alice also can share the key over the public channel without Charlie know it? This is a little bit difficult. We cannot go to somewhere and meet maybe in the street or maybe in the jungle. So that's why we need some methods to solve this problem. Actually, the problem is analogous with the idea of the mailbox. So if someone send a letter to Bob, everyone can send a letter to Bob. Why? Because everyone knows the address of the Bob, but only the Bob can open the mailbox. So actually, this problem is similar to the idea of the use of public key cryptography. So there are two main encryption algorithms in cryptography, which are symmetric and also asymmetric. So in here, for the symmetric encryption, they use the same key for encrypt and also decrypt the document. But for the asymmetric encryption, they use two different keys. The first is a public key for encryption, and the second is a private key for decryption. So what is the Diffie-Hellman K-exchange algorithm? So the Diffie-Hellman K-exchange algorithm was developed in 1976 by Merkel, Diffie, and also Hellman. They are British mathematician. It was discovered by the British Signal Intelligence Agency. So basically, the Diffie-Hellman algorithm is the protocol that enables two parties communicating over public channel to establish a mutual script without it being transmitted over the internet. So the key is kept secret, but Bob and Alice still can use the key. The critical part of the Diffie-Hellman exchange here is the both party end up with the same result. With the same result, it means with the same key, without ever needing to send the entirety of the common secrets into the public internet, maybe into the public channel or into the public network. So they still keep the key secret. So how does it work? The whole idea, as I said before, is that a two party in here, which is Alice and also Bob's, agree on certain public parameters. The public parameter in here is a prime modulus P and also a primitive root modulo of P and G. There are actually 3 steps of this algorithm. The first is a K generation and sharing key, and also calculating a secret key. So for the key generation in here, Alice and Bob chooses a secret integer A, and Bob chooses secret integer B. And then both Alice and Bob compute A and B, whereas A is G to the power of A modulo P, whereas P is a prime number. And also Bob compute P is equal to G to the power of B modulo P, whereas P is prime number also. And then Alice share A with Bob, and Bob share B with Alice. So they keep secrets A and B as their secret key, but they share A and B. So Charlie, as an attacker, knows A and B, but he doesn't know the small a and small b. And then they calculating the secret key, which is as in here, b to the power of a modulo p, and also a to the power of b modulo p. Why is it same? Because as we know, the exponent is commute. So if we power some things, so actually b is g to the power of b, right? And with to the power of a, so we have gab and we have gba. Actually gab and gba commute, so both secret key is same. And here maybe a little bit example, mathematical example, but it's not too difficult. So both party in here agree on using the modulo P, which is a prime number 23, and the base G, this is integer number 5. And then Alice chooses a secret integer A is equal to 4, and send the Bob's G to the power of G to the power of A modulo P. So we have 5 to the power of 4, which is, and modulo 23 is equal to 4. So modulo is like, if you know a clock, maybe clock is 12, is like that. If you have 13 is equal to 1. So in here, if you have 24, which means equal to 1. If you have 25 is equal to 2. So it's like a clock. And then Bob, in a similar way, chooses a secret integer p equal to 3 and sends g to the power of b modulo p in here is equal to 10 to Alice. And then Alice sends a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 10. And then they calculate the secret key. And we can see in here, end up with the same secret key, 18. So without share their power, which is a is equal to 4 and also b is equal to 3, they end up with the same secret key, s is equal to 18. Okay, so is the Diffie-Hellman exchange is secure? yes until now, but not the classical one. So why? Because on the mathematical level, the security of the Diffie-Hellman-K exchange is based on one-wave function, whereas the computation of the protocol is straightforward. But if we want to attack, it's a little bit complicated. So it is impossible to calculate G to the power AB from the individual public parameter. As we know, the individual public parameter here, G to the power of A, which is equal to a big A, and also G to the power of B is equal to the big B. So it's difficult using this information. We can get G to the power of AB. The Diffie-Hellman-K exchange is considered safe because, the attacker can, as I said before, the attacker can get A and B, but it's not easy way to compute G to the power of AB. But in here, practically, the Diffie-Hellman-K exchange protocol is really employed by itself. So the Diffie-Hellman-K exchange protocol is usually implemented with alongside some protocols such as because they often involve using like digital certificates and also public key algorithm such as RSA to verify the identify of each protocol. So as we know, like WhatsApp is not only using a Diffie-Hellman, but is also using RSA combined with elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman and everything. So we cannot just only stand with Diffie-Hellman, because the Diffie-Hellman we only get the secret key, but we cannot encrypt and decrypt the document. To encrypt and decrypt the document, we need another algorithm. So practically, we always combine the Diffie-Hellman key exchange protocol with another algorithm. Okay, so as I said before, there is a variation of the Diffie-Hellman because the Diffie-Hellman cannot stand by itself. So the first one is elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman. So the elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman takes advantage of the algebraic structure of elliptic curve to allow its implementation to achieve a similar level of security, but with a smaller key size. So they use a curve. They use an elliptic curve here. Implement the Diffie-Hellman protocol. And the second here is Algamal. Algamal is a public key encryption that built on the top of the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So they're using the key generation of Diffie-Hellman, but then they encrypt and decrypt the document using the encryption using their encryption algorithm. And the third in here, transport layer security or TSL. And the fourth, the station to station protocol is also based on the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. This is another key agreement scheme. And however, it provides also protection against man in the middle attacks as well as perfect forward secrecy. Okay, but nowadays, as we know, the invention of the quantum computing affect the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So the quantum computing is an emerging branch of the computing that continue to make a breakthrough. So they allow computer to compute in the fast way. So it also become easier to break this cryptography mechanism. And the biggest concern in here is how a short algorithm can break the public key cryptography, which is important, the important role in the cryptography. And also because as the concern of the development of the quantum computer, then the matematikawan and also computer science, they try to replace this algorithm with some numerous paths in here, such that lattice-based cryptography and also multivariate cryptography and elliptic curve isogeny cryptography. So they already prevent about the invention of a quantum computer, because with the quantum computer we can compute or we can attack maybe the protocol easily and quickly. So okay, this is the end of my presentation, and thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Ani Analifa, for your great presentation. And Ibu, the encryption really is a very urgent matter at the moment, ya, Ibu, ya?
Yes.
Yeah, because it relates to our privacy, yeah, especially in some social media or some device application, Ibu Ani. Okay, thank you for all of the participants. If you have any question for Ibu Ani Analifa and Ibu Alwia, please kindly to do so. Looks like we have one question for Ibu Ani Analifa. Okay, Ibu Ani Analifa, when you told us about the connection between the mathematics and how it can protect your privacy using the encryption, so do you think the mathematics needs to do a collaboration with the IT persons, or they can do it by themselves? For example, do you really need a collaboration with them, or you can do the formulation with only the mathematic person?
Okay, thank you, Madara. So actually, we as a mathematician is like, we as a mathematician, sorry. Wait. Because my voice is like, my voice is clear or not?
Yeah, it has a little bit echo, but we can hear it clearly.
Okay. So basically, we as a mathematician is like discover the foundation, discover the theory. We develop the theory. It's not only in the cryptography, it's not only in the security, but in other areas as engineering, maybe biology, health, and maybe the other field. So we, as a mathematician in here, we try develop the theory of the cryptography, and then computer science, actually, they implement our theory in the program to make like WhatsApp, to make like maybe a device that can secure some things. So as mathematician, we only develop the theory, and then we just give to the computer scientist or maybe the cryptographer or some things. Then they will implement our theory to the develop maybe some device or anything.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ani Mu'analifa. So you have to do a collaboration between those two scientists, yeah?
Yes.
Mathematics for the theory and the TI for the implementation. Okay.
This is also maybe I answered the question because some people said, why is important mathematics theory? Because they think it's not important to study mathematics theory. Maybe some students thinking like that. Because why? Because without mathematics theory, we cannot implement it in the engineering. We cannot develop another field. So this is the importance of mathematics theory.
So that's why mathematics is one of the basic science.
Yes, the basic, the
even
queen
the
of science.
Biology,
Yes,
even
they
the
said
biology also
mathematics
needs
is the queen of science. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. It's question from Bapak Prihadi. Does it mean maybe someone who study cryptography should have a good mathematical concept, which is maybe hard to learn? Can you see the question?
No. Actually, cryptography is easy, but develop the theory need a mathematical concept. But if you maybe study a computer science, you don't need too much algebra in there because they only use a little bit part of algebra. It's different with a mathematician. Mathematician, we develop the theory, we develop the theorem, we need to prove everything, but for the for the computer science, they only use sometimes without proving the theorem or without proving the formula.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ani Mu'analifa. And this one is a question to Dr. Alwiyah from Ibu Istiqomah. Thank you for a great explanation about alternative energy through the energy conversion based on temperature differences. One way to improve thermoelectric performance is the use of stable materials such as calcium manganite. My question is, does this calcium manganite still have a weakness, and what other materials might have even better performance than calcium manganite? To Dr. Alwiyah.
Okay, thank you for the questions from Bu Istiqomah. I will try to answer. So about the calcium manganese oxide or CmNO3 here, actually these materials has thermal and chemical stability. So this is the positive side of these materials. But in other side, currently the works in this material still get the low ZT value. As we can remember in my slide that the main parameter to know the thermoelectric performance of the material, we can see from the ZT value. And CmNO3, although it has a stable and non-toxic and low cost like that, and also eco-friendly material like that, but up to now, the research have been conducted by several investigators, still get the low ZT value compared with the other materials like clatrate, scuterides, and also the other alloys. But other compounds like clatharates or scuterides, which has been implemented in the aerospace technology like that, they possess a high toxicity like that. So that's why this is the main reason why we develop these materials. And the other materials also in terms of oxide materials, we have a ZNO. ZNO also one of good candidates for N-type thermoelectric materials, and also strontium titanate also showed the what's that? The good performance in thermoelectric properties, like that, Miss Tara.
Okay, thank you very much for the great answer, Ibu Dr. Alwia Nurhayati. Thank you very much. Looks like we are still curious about more of your expertise for Ibu Ani and Ibu Alwia, but the time is very limited. So I think we have to move on into the next session, which is the photo together before we close the this seminar. So to all of the participants, please kindly open your video so that we can capture our moment together at the moment. If you are ready, then the committee will capture all of the photos. So please, to all of the participants, please activate your video. And for the committee, Ibu Zani, are you ready? Hello, Ibu Zani, the committee, are you ready to capture? Ibu Zani, Ibu Fuji, and Bapak Prihadi.
Okay, we are ready to take a picture of us.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay, everybody can open the cam, and then please for Miss Dani to take the to take the print screen of this screen. Okay, is it ready, Miss Dani? Okay. Okay, everybody, big smile. Okay, and then we go to the next slide. Okay, everybody, big smile now. Okay, and the third slide. Okay, and then for the last slide, we have 4 slide here. Okay. Okay, thank you, Miss Tara.
Okay, thank you very much for all of the committee. I also would like to thank the presenter, Professor Reddy, and also Dr. Osgan, Dr. Ani, and also Dr. Al. Thank you very much for delivering a very great speech and knowledge, which is very, very valuable for us. So thank you very much also to the committee for conducting this seminar, and we will see you again in the future in another international conference. To all of the participants, I'll see you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Recording stopped.